The entertainment business has been crippled in the age of COVID. Back in March, when we all went into lockdown to try and flatten the curve, one of the first and biggest industry shutdowns came in entertainment. The folks in offices went home to work, but the folks on movie and TV sets went home with no way of continuing their craft. Sure, there's been some attempts at doing shows using video services like Zoom, but pretty much, if you were working with other people face to face, you're out of luck. As the numbers have improved, we're seeing production resume with very strict safety requirements. They have a lot of shows living like they're in a bubble of sorts. You could be in an amazing city like New Orleans and never get out to experience it other than to shoot a scene and then head back to the bubble. That's life in the current version of the new normal, as these folks work on creating some of our favorite relief valves. Tiana Chun is a post-production assistant for the NCIS New Orleans TV show on CBS. She graduated from California State University at Long Beach with a BA in Film and Electronic Arts, with an emphasis in editing. Prior to working on NCIS NOLA, she was a post-PA for the Netflix show Julie and the Phantoms. She's currently awaiting return to her job since production's been suddenly shut down due to the pandemic. Hi, Tiana. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I am a post-production assistant, and now I'm working on NCIS New Orleans, but we're currently paused. We're planning on going back soon. But I worked on Julie and the Phantoms. That's what I was working on when everything kind of started.
Working on NCIS New Orleans, I want you to know that that is probably the show I'm watching the most simply because it's on TNT at 2 o'clock in the morning. And when I can't sleep at night, that's what's running in the background. I assume that you work locally here. You're not on location in New Orleans.
Yeah, we do post here in like Sherman Oaks, so
You ever get to meet the cast?
no, because they're all in New Orleans.
The unglamorous side of TV and movie production, right? Hollywood's done a wonderful job painting this image of how glamorous the movie business is, right? But if you stop and think about it, it takes 3 months to shoot a 90-minute film. And that should, just from a perspective, give you an idea of how unglamorous it can actually be, though it's the best damn work I've ever had in my life.
Oh yeah, it's like fun, but it's also like, oh, it's a lot more work than media lets on.
Yeah. So what's a typical day like for you when you're working?
In terms of NCIS, I started, let's see, first week of March was my last day working on Julie and the Phantoms on Monday. Then Tuesday, I got the call to interview for NCIS. And then on Wednesday, I interviewed. And then Thursday, I got a call saying I got the job Friday.
Awesome.
So then I worked Friday to the next Friday, and that last Friday was my last day in the office.
Oh my gosh. Um, did they how much had they gotten filmed? Were other people continuing to work remotely after that point in the shutdown, or did the show just stop?
So it was like uh, Thursday night, I believe, we got the call saying that production stopped, and we didn't know what that meant for us. We weren't sure if we were going to continue. There were still like 2 episodes, I believe, 2 or 3 that we still were going to shoot, and one was just starting to shoot. So we
Okay.
were like kind of in the mindset of, okay, well, until they tell us to stop, we're going to finish the episodes we have finished.
Right.
And those editors are going to work remotely, or if they, I think some still went in if they had to. I was also told that we were all going to come back on Monday.
Yeah.
So Friday I go in and everybody's sad because we're all like, we don't know if we're renewed. We don't know what's happening. All we know is that this got cut a lot shorter than we thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Sure. Um,
I know a whole bunch of people who are working in animation and visual effects, and they all went on this mad scramble to have to get everybody relocated and working from home. Within like a week or two after the shutdown orders came. Like an editor, the work they're doing requires being pretty close to the content from a technology perspective. Otherwise, you get latency and things that just make it not work well. And they figured out how to do it. So,
Yeah,
when did you? How long have you been out of school? When did you graduate from Cal State Long Beach?
I graduated 2019 spring.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you were lucky. You got out and you landed right into the industry.
yeah, that was it was a lot faster than I thought it was gonna.
Yeah. How did you go about finding that first gig?
Uh, through just sending a bunch of emails,
Okay.
and the first one I got was my dad's friend. The assistant editor that worked on Julie and the Phantoms is was the assistant editor of my dad's friend when they worked on Sunny with a Chance.
Okay. Yeah.
So
We watched that show when the kids were young. Yes, I remember.
yeah. So like that was pretty cool. I really didn't think I was gonna get it because the director, I was told right off the bat, like the director's Kenny Ortega, and I was like, High School Musical.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get this. But I think it just worked out that I was told that there were two other people or I was the only one who knew Avid, and that's why I got it.
Okay.
I was like, ooh.
Did you get that? Did you get that training at school?
Yeah, I got that training at school, and that's also what my dad used.
Ah.
So
Okay.
that's what I started on.
Okay. Does he have an Avid set up at home, or did he take you to work and let you play?
No, he has one set up at home, and I
Nice.
would like
Very
do
nice.
school projects on it.
Very
So that
cool.
was
Very
nice.
cool. Okay. So you're getting settled in. You're learning your new job. Then the order comes to shut down. What was everybody's reaction when that happened?
We were very much throughout the week we were starting, okay, we should start wiping things down. I was like wiping doorknobs, all that stuff already. And by the end, like it was the Friday that we were told, hey, everything's shut down. It's really sad in the office.
Yeah.
We were also just told once you're done doing all your things, go home
Yeah.
because we don't want that many people in the office. I like remember taking my lunch home because I had finished everything I needed to do by lunch.
Yeah. Was it a crowded office? How many people worked in there?
Um, three sets, so six people that are the editorial, and then maybe like four other people.
Okay. Is the company that you're working for part of the production company? Is it an independent company that's been hired by the production company to do the editorial work? Are you part of CBS?
Um,
How does that work?
I I believe I'm part of CBS.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I signed all the paperwork through CBS stuff.
Okay.
So that's yeah,
Okay. And everybody in the shop there was working on the same show, or did you have multiple shows going on?
yeah. Everybody was working on the same show.
All right. And then the order came, and everybody had to pack up and go home. That
Yeah,
sucked.
it wasn't even on Thursday that we said, "Oh, pack up and go home." It was Friday. I was leaving, and I'm like, "See you guys Monday," and they're like, "Yeah, see you Monday." And then Sunday night, we all got that. Yeah, don't come into the office.
Yeah.
We can't. And I'm like, "Oh shoot."
So so it seems like from what I'm seeing on the outside here that production is starting up again in a lot of areas. Any word back on where uh, NCIS NOLA is and whether or not you're going to get recalled back soon?
Yes, I recently got the call saying that I should be back next Tuesday, which is exciting.
Awesome. That's terrific.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
that's very
I
exciting.
yeah, I figured things were picking up when I was getting scripts and not
Yeah.
just outlines, and I was like, okay, things are happening.
That's cool. I know that the industry people, the talent unions, and the Producers Guild, and the other groups like the DGA and the Teamsters got together and came up with a 21 point plan on how to reopen production. And it seems like it's been working so far because you're not hearing. There's been a bunch of movies, especially, that have started up again, and you're not hearing stories in the news about people getting sick. So hopefully this is good and we can get back to something resembling normal.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I saw the article. Well, we were sent the article about how ideas for the show, and we're very much diving into a world of COVID. So
Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Addressing the problem head on instead of being like,
Pretend,
oh, it's not
pretending it
happening.
doesn't exist. Yeah. Trying to explain to people why all the characters are playing by themselves in scenes or
Yeah,
talking on the phone instead of standing next to each other. Yeah.
yeah,
That's good. No, that's really good. I think we're gonna see a lot more of that in television. We're gonna start seeing people addressing the real problem and finding ways to shoot with minimal crews on location, and maybe even playing with virtual production and special effects and green screens, and trying to put two people in the same room without actually putting them in the same room. So I think that's all great.
yeah.
So what have you started to do to prepare?
I've been like just making myself like read, read those scripts, read those outlines,
Yeah.
refamiliarize myself with like where all my like folders are located and
How's life in general going for you since all of this started to happen?
life's been pretty crazy. Let's see. I started off by being like, okay, I'm gonna get myself into a lot more crafts because I already do a lot of that.
Okay.
And then there was a moment where my dad lost his job, and that kind of threw a wrench in things. And then my grandpa had a stroke sometime, and he was getting released from the hospital, and he was very much not ready to go home. So we also had the decision of, okay, my grandparents are moving in now.
Oh, in the middle of all the crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
He was medically okay to be released. He just wasn't ready to be out on his own, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
he wouldn't be able to be on his own, and my grandma definitely couldn't take care of him on her own, and they live in a on the second floor.
Yeah, I get
So,
it. I get it.
yeah.
No, I can tell you from my own personal experience that with all the crazy going on in the world, life still continues to go on with all of its problems and pains that go along with it.
I remember in the beginning, I was really against having like even like them or like my aunt come over because I was like, social distancing. We shouldn't have family over even if it's family.
Yeah.
And it happened anyway, and now it's at a point where my aunt will come like once a week, and I'm like, yes, please, we need help around
You-
here.
Yeah, I understand. So I was laid off back in November of last year, and of course, the holidays are always slow, and then the new year started, and then that became pandemic. So I've been home for a long time,
Yeah,
and up until fairly recently, I've had no direct human contact other than my family for the same reason, right? I'm not letting anybody into the house that I don't know is kind of certified safe.
yeah,
And only in the last probably month have I, said, okay, I will go and sit 6 feet apart from you at a coffee shop and sit and have a chat. But it's been a long, hard road.
yeah. It's been really weird seeing people I know
Yeah,
because I remember like when Animal Crossing first came out, and we do go to people's houses like in our car and do like amiibo things.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it was like after leaving their house, like we were outside in the car, like the window protecting us, and then it was just being like driving home and then texting them when I get home, being like, I haven't seen another person in like a
yeah.
month. It was nice seeing you.
Well, if we all play nice with each other and we wear our masks, it will get better, right?
Yeah, when my grandparents moved in, like partially to be like, I want to have something to hold on to and do.
Yeah.
I helped the cafe I used to work at down the street changed ownership, and the owner reached out to me and was like, "Hey, could you help? I don't know how to do any of the barista stuff, and like you'll know more about this than I do, and you could teach me, and we can start this place up." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I have nothing else to do."
Okay.
Working in a cafe for like a month or two has taught me, this is why we're still here.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
Yeah,
working in any kind of customer service function like that teaches you how to number one, teaches you how hard people actually work in those
yeah,
spaces, and it teaches you humility, right? Because you have to figure out how to deal with all the whack jobs and all the people who aren't so nice, and yet not piss them off so that they never come back again, even though you may not want
yeah,
them to come back.
yeah. That has been the hardest part, is seeing somebody come in without a mask and being like, I can say something and that might have them stay here longer to argue,
Right.
or I can just take their order real quick and have them go outside.
Okay. Did it happen? Did that happen a lot?
It honestly did, and that's what scared me. I started like making myself masks, and I would put like filters and filters in there,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
just like doing the best I could.
Yeah.
But
Is that just a so what do you think? Is that just a characteristic of the neighborhood we live in? Or is it people are just kind of in denial about what's really going on in the world?
I think it's the in denial and the, oh, we've been in quarantine for so long, I just want to go somewhere without a mask.
Mm,
Like, simply because we would still get the people who would come in and be like, it kind of bothers me that that person wasn't wearing a mask. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
it bothers me too. Like,
I was reading some history, and apparently they had the same problems in the 1917, 1918 Spanish flu pandemic in this country as well, right? I mean, people refused to wear masks back then too. So who knows? Who knows what goes
I
on in
don't know.
people's heads? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's gone to a point where I'm very comfortable wearing my mask. So when people would complain about it, I'm like, either you're wearing the wrong type of mask for your comfortability, or like, I'm very comfortable wearing it that I will go into a store with a mask on and then have a moment of, oh my God, am I wearing my mask?
Yeah, no, that's true. Most people also probably don't think about the fact that there are different kinds of masks and they have different ways of working for you. Because I went through that too. I bought the cloth ones and I tried wearing them and I found them to be really stifling. And so I went back to the ones they'll give you in the doctor's office, the paper ones, and I'm fine with those. Though there are good days and bad days, right? I mean, there's some days where it's like I wear the mask and it's stifling and it makes me really exhausted wearing it for an hour. And then there are days when I can go the entire day and I'm fine with it. So
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you this though. I will wear a mask. I'd wear a faceplate and I'd wear rubber gloves for an entire day straight if I could go back into an office and work.
Yes, I
So have they told you anything about the precautions that they're putting into place for when you go back to work?
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be still working from home, because since we
Okay.
can, we might as well.
Okay.
Um, there's been like talk about getting our stuff back from the offices
Okay.
and planning out who goes when and how to get in and
Yeah.
scanning to make sure you're good before you go. And
It's yeah. It's a new
yeah,
world we live in. So what does the next 6 months look like for you? What are you looking forward to the most?
I really don't know. It's gonna look like working from home. I don't know if that means that eventually we'll go back, or if they're just gonna be as cautious as they can and just have us work from home that entire time.
When you're working from home, are you connected to a central system to do the editing work? Are you pulling it down and working on it locally and then sending it back up to a central system so other people can see it as well? How did they set you up?
Um, I don't know what they're doing per se, but I just know that I at least have access to our group Dropbox, and that's how
Okay.
I'm getting stuff. But I don't know
Okay.
how. Yeah, I know they put in like all these precautions on, because getting hacked or getting information leaked is really
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
we don't
try
want
not
the
to do
show.
that.
Yeah, we don't want the show out on the internet before it goes to air. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know they were putting all these precautions in, but I don't know too much about them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and do you do like Zoom meetings for, getting together as a group and communicating that way?
We did
Yeah.
just old-fashioned conference calls,
Okay.
and it was watching the episode on our own. Like somebody would shout out a time code, we'd watch, put yourself on mute, watch until somebody says something, and then go to that time code, watch it. It was really hard to focus.
There's no shared tool that lets you all watch it in real time together, and they wouldn't do it with a video conference kind of system. There'd be a conference call, and you'd all be sitting there in front of your edit stations, synchronizing manually to the same time code.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
It's like
Um,
as basic as you could get.
yeah, yeah. I can probably think of a couple dozen better ways to do it, but if it works, hey, that's cool.
Yep.
Okay. Um, so what are the things you're looking forward to the most?
Like when the world goes back.
Yeah, yeah,
I miss concerts and conventions. Um, oh man, I had like some concerts lined up that have just been postponed and then
yeah,
postponed again.
yep, yeah. We had theater tickets, a lot of theater tickets this year because we had like tickets for 4 different shows this year.
Oh,
all, of, all of them canceled. It's like, yes. Um,
yeah.
what conferences did you go to?
Concert or
Conference.
convention?
You said conferences also.
Oh, conventions.
Yeah, convention. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I had gone to ALA, which is Anime Los Angeles, which is in Ontario, not
Okay.
in Los Angeles.
Okay.
That was in January. So unaware during that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. We all kind of were. I mean, who knew that it was going to turn into this though?
Oh man,
Yeah.
no.
I was asking the question the other day of why is this pandemic different from any other pandemic that's happened? Not that I've lived through something like this before in my life, but back in, using Spanish flu from 1917 as the benchmark, the world didn't shut down. I mean, people got sick, people died. They had the same kind of people fighting over masks and things like that. But somehow or another, it didn't freak the world out to the point where they just shut the economy down and everybody went in their houses. And I don't know whether, our reaction now is more of a we have more knowledge because it's 100 years later and we've learned things about how this works, or we're scaring ourselves more because we have social media to you know uh, promulgate and expand the response to it. I don't know, but there are days when I'm not a conspiracy theory kind of guy, but there are days when I wonder whether or not the we may have a little overreacted, or what the reason for the overreaction was.
Yeah. Uh, Man, there's so many theories out there,
Yeah,
like crazy and not, but
yeah,
it's just like, I don't know.
yeah.
And I'm excited to see in the future, looking back, like through textbooks and being like, huh, this is what we didn't know back then.
Yeah, this is what we learned from it. Well, listen, congratulations on the job, first of all,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
because it's a very cool show to be on, and it's a great credit for your resume. And congratulations on that. You're actually going back to work. That's really exciting. And
Yes.
and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. I I enjoyed it.